they're afraid to keep. I'm sitting there like, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Ask Mathis. I'm your host, Reggie Mathis, and rocking with me is my brother Wildman Teddy T, a.k.a. Baron Theo Mound-builder.
We's in the building, y'all.
Oh, man, bro, we got lots to talk about, man. Rich homie Quan, they already buried and gone.
Done. That was a hell of a funeral.
Yeah, man.
That was great.
They spared no expense. It was moving, emotional, touching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, folks swiped to Sexy Red, getting dogged by Kodak.
It's so, like that's what it is.
Let's just be real with how things are right now. You know, puts lots of stuff in perspective. You know, you think you mean a lot to people, and you know, something happened to you. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, man, that was a good dude. Pour out a little liquor. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Bills got to get paid. You know, so you know, shout out to you know, his family, man, his children, you know, who are left. I think with Rich Homie, bruh, he's gonna definitely his estate, I think, is gonna end up being probably one of the most lucrative that's out there. You know, you look at the Jackson estate, Michael Jackson estate, you know, and how, you know, how much money they've gotten, licensing, things of that nature. And then also, man, speaking of Jackson, you know, we lost Tito, 70 years old. Man, and you was just talking about Tito,
yeah, 'cause I just
like
talked
a couple
to him.
weeks ago. You was like, yeah, I'm going to bring Tito Jackson on the show.
I just talked to him. And that was crazy. I was like, man, 2 weeks to look. I saw it. I was like, Tito. I kept seeing 2024. I'm like, why are they putting this? And then I look. I'm like, oh, man, I just talked to Tito. He was.
So how did you connect with Tito?
I work with this guy named Charvet, and he grew up with them. And so that's how we got Melvin Riley.
Okay.
Through Charvet. Charvet does a show where he interviews all the legends. So he had just interviewed Tito and was dropping Tito back at the house, and I was on the phone with him. And I had worked Tito's son's record through Charvet.
Yeah, you was mentioning that
back in the days.
Yeah, you was
and they was
that.
like, they got a new single. I was like, well, damn, they kind of.
And Tito put out an album.
Oh, he's been putting out songs, and that's so. What is Natalie's last name? Damani?
What's Natalie?
Natalie that was with
La Rose.
Oh, Rose, that's it. Okay.
La Rose.
La Rose, that's La Rose. Okay, because he had a record by another girl named Natalie, and I was like, is this the same? She looks Spanish. She's the same. Has that same look.
She wasn't Spanish. She was from Curaçao.
Oh, okay.
And her folks were living in Amsterdam. Her dad was the mayor of one of the parts of Amsterdam. But you know, Curaçao down in South America, right. African population had come down there. Man, we ought to do a segment, you know, one day on, you know, folks would not believe how many black folks are in places outside of the U.S. And I'm not talking about the islands, and I'm not talking about Africa, but, you know, like Brazil actually has the most. Brazil has the most. But, you know, you hit me to Mexico. Like, I wasn't familiar with Mexico. I read up on it because that piqued my interest. But then it didn't stop there, man. You know, just with that, you know, don't want to get into it now. We've changed our language over the years. We've evolved, you know. But, you know, the way I was raised, you know, I'd have went to the triangle trade, whatever. But, you know, before the Mayflower. So we just going to set that right there because we got so much we need to get to. Diddy, man. You know, Diddy is very uncomfortable right now.
Very. Cohen broke it down for you about that. Michael was like, it's only a 5 by 5 room.
I saw that too, bro. It's like, you like got a table coming out of the wall, aluminum. You know, you got a chance to do some sit-ups and some push-ups. And when he wake up, bro, you going to go from this plush And then, bro, they just showing all the images of Puff, like, hours before he turned himself in, and the things he was doing, like, you know, out in the park, sunbathing, just doing all the stuff, bro.
He's gonna
you know,
miss.
But, you know, I feel you on that, bro. I've been on the beach. I've been on the beach for the last 15 years. 15 years. And I've probably gone to the beach maybe 25 times from my crib. You know, and it just be like, and anytime somebody comes over and it's like, man, you know, we walk to the beach. We walk to the beach. They're like, you could do this, man. And then it actually gets me into, you know, doing it a couple times, and then I'm back to the regular thing,
to the
like
urban lifestyle.
Like I'm living in Cooper City. Like I'm living in Cooper City, man. I'm like, you know, just don't do it. You know, I gotta get back into it, man. But
now, the things that I want to ask on the lawful situation that I see, they have all these different crimes. I mean, these allegations, charges. So the fact that it's federal, did they already interview the people that they've got?
Yeah, they had the grand jury.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
That's what I wanted to explain.
You know, you have the grand jury. And so the grand jury, bro, it was I think they assembled 23, I think was the number that they had for his grand jury. And they, you know, they met for and it was presented by the prosecutors, and he, you know, they were in communication with his lawyer, so he knew. That's why he started putting this,
getting together,
you know, stuff up. The crib in L.A., I think, listed for $62 million, something like that.
The one here, $50 million,
and you know, just trying to, you know, and moved up there to try to show good faith that you're not a flight risk, because you know that's what they was going to do, bro. So I'm just thinking, bro, he might go out like Epstein.
That's what they saying.
That's what I'm saying too.
That's what they saying.
That's what I'm saying too. Unless he just come in and tell on everybody,
which
if he has the.
It's bigger than Nino Brown.
That's where everybody.
That's
you know, the internet is undefeated.
That's the concept.
The internet is
that's
undefeated.
That's what they saying.
The internet is undefeated.
But my thing is, like, so the charges of, let's say, coercing people with the videos, so they actually talk to the people.
Really, they talk to enough. I mean, they talk to enough, and they're saying whatever count they have is based on testimony that's going in front of the jury, the grand jury, and then the grand jury comes with what's called a true bill. A true bill is the indictment in federal court. In state court, at least in Florida, the only time you typically go in front of the grand jury is for capital murder. You know, but everything else is charged by information. So information, the prosecutor comes in and they just, you know, meet with the witnesses and decide based on their interaction what charges to file. But in federal court, every charge it comes with from a grand jury indictment. So it's called a true bill. When they come out and with that announcement, you know, true bill, that means, you know, here are the charges. This is what we found, and all it is essentially is probable cause. You know, it's not. Maybe a little higher than probable cause, but there's no defense. You know, there's no explanation. It's just the prosecutor comes in. Now the defendant, the subject, is oftentimes given the opportunity to come in, but 9.9999 out of 10, you're not taking your client in front of the grand jury. Like, you're not doing that, because you go in there and you lie in front of a grand jury, bro. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And so representation, like, and if you were to take your client in front of the grand jury, you can't even go in with him. You got to sit outside.
Wait.
So, you know, because it's total lock, you know, you locked out.
And they were saying, because I believe, because like Cassie, she did her civil case, but they said because they picked it up, she was able to go and be a witness in the federal situation.
Sure. It sounds like the indictment that was read by Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, which is crazy. The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District is a brother, Damian Williams. Don't play the radio. And then the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida is my man, Mark LaPointe, who happens to be a Haitian. In the midst of all this stuff about eating cats, that the brother who is overseeing the prosecution is a Haitian. Somebody that was born in Haiti. A great brother. He is a great brother. You know, and he's only been on the job, I want to say, you know, less than a year. And so this is, you know, big high profile case. So I was just watching the press conference. He was a bit nervous. He was a little nervous. You know, he had all his notes. And I'm peeping, man, as a friend. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, bruh focused on, you know, not making a mistake and looking good.
Look good.
He wanted to look good because, bro, you can tell he kind of reminded me of Flo before a show. Flo go run to the gym. Like, if nothing else, when Flo is nervous, he like, man, I'm going to go to the gym. He's like, yo, bro, showtime is like 10 minutes. Come on, let's go to the gym. Like, come on, man, we got to go. Man, give me a jump rope. You know, he just want to. So he came in there, bro, had the guns, and, you know, he was looking, you know, Brother LaPointe was looking, he was on point, man. Shout out to Mark LaPointe, man. But then our governor, bro, he comes with some nonsense talking about this is the same, you know, agency that's prosecuting for these bogus charges. So we're going to conduct our own investigation. Man, what kind of hogwash is that? You know, bro, what kind of hogwash is that? Bruh, unless it's fish and wildlife or something like that, bruh, don't ever even pretend that, you know, the state folks are going to do a better job than the federal folks simply because
they're more thorough.
They're more thorough. They're way more thorough, and you're dealing with career people. Like, after you've completed your time on the state, you trying to get to the feds if that's what you want to be. If you want to be a career prosecutor, if you want to be career law enforcement or whatever, you can stay, you know, writing tickets and, you know, going into dope houses and doing the street crime or whatever, and that's cool and it's admirable or what have you. But if you want to, you know, get with some, you know, masterminds, criminals and terrorists and all that, bro, they don't take anybody.
That's it. So
to come in there and try to be like, oh, these, you know, we about to do our thing. Like, man, go sit down, bro. Go sit down. Sit all the way down. Sit all the way down to sanctimonious. Sit all the way down.
I mean, it's like with Pup, you feel for him because he's Pup Daddy, but then it's like the things that he's actually done and things that he's seen, it's like, you know, you reap what you sow at the end of the day. And
well, Trick got a different opinion. Boosie got a different opinion. A lot of folks Lil Duval got a different opinion because they basically saying like, okay, you know, the fun got to stop because that's what you know what I mean? Like everybody from the 90s, think about it. James Brown went to jail. R. Kelly in jail. Michael Jackson, they tried to put in jail.
Bill Cosby. Michael Vick. I mean, to me, you got this element where they're attacking millionaire black men. I feel that they're attacking millionaire black men. I go back to even the hip hop police coming to connect with those guys from the beginning.
Because, I mean, I put it to you like this, bro. You know, I've been on the periphery. Periphery.
That's right, all around.
The periphery meaning like on the outskirts of what's happening, you know, in a Diddy situation. I won't even call it a Diddy party, but like at the club, you know, and just seeing like the folks running. Bruh is not dragging nobody. He is not dragging anybody to come party with him. It was considered an honor to rock with him or be invited. You know, I'm very good friends with somebody that went to college with him at Howard. And he was at Howard when he first started, you know, with Uptown Records, Andre Harrell, and whatnot. And so, you know, down here he lives in Miami now. So living in Miami, you know, he has gone to some of the parties, like where it's 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning. You know, when you going in there doing, bro, there's no gimp like from Pulp Fiction. You know, bring out the gimp. Gimp sleeping. Well, bring him out anyway. And you come opening up some crypt and pulling out somebody that's chained in leather to come out and perform sex acts.
Right.
Like, nah, that it ain't go down like that. So his attorney, man, I like his attorney thus far because he's low key. He's not one of these guys that you see all the time that's in the spotlight. And, you know, he don't be out there selling, you know, all kind of wolf tickets and whatnot. Like, he came out there, was like, hey, you know, didn't go our way.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's like, you know,
Hey,
we had good feelings.
didn't go our way. Go try it tomorrow. See what we'll do. If it doesn't go our way, then
Still keep
then
trying.
we'll try to get, you know,
Something.
the fastest, try to get it. And that's the thing about the feds also. Case like this case could go to trial in 90 days. You know, that's the feds, bro. Like, the feds, they're going to get a trial date, like, ASAP. So we could find out. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of the reasons that they kept him is that they made an argument, a compelling argument. There were over 123 phone calls made to the other chick in Dirty Money. Because Dawn, you know, she filed her lawsuit last week. And so the other chick that was in there, say he was hitting her phone like over 100 and something times. So the feds is like, boom, because once they on you, and that's another difference between federal and state court. State court is reactionary. Like, state court, they react to whatever. They're like the traditional slave catching structure. You know what I mean? Like, slave gets away, we need some muscle posse, go round them up and bring them in.
Bring them back in.
You know, with the feds, it's like, nah, let's
let
see what they do, whatever. And it's like, okay, you got through that one, all right, cool. But we got 100 more counts to go. We got 100 more counts to go. That's why they have such a high conviction rate. Because by the time they move in, you know what I'm saying, bruh? Like, you got us on Monday, but we was still there Tuesday.
Wednesday.
We was still there Wednesday. We was still there Thursday. We was there for years. They give you that opportunity, and they're gonna watch and wait you out. They're gonna wait you out. So when you in the feds, and if you really in there saying that you taking it to the door in the feds, this is the type of case that he could win. Puffy can win this case. Puffy can win this case by simply, like, you know, we was all on drugs. We was all partying. We was all having a good time. Here's all the text messages from all these chicks and all these accusers begging to come back. And because I'm like, nah, then all of a sudden they, you know, now this is that, or it wasn't consensual, or wasn't that, or whatever. And that situation with Cassie, you know, as far as that, you're not charged with that. He's not. You understand? He's not charged. He's not charged with beating her down
at all.
He's not charged with that. That's really a state crime.
And that's what I'm
Sex
saying.
trafficking is taking somebody
From
across state lines for the purpose of illicit. So if you're a consenting adult,
and you just go,
you know what I mean? Or if you're already in that, you know what I mean? Like, in
that's
that
what
industry,
I'm saying. Like, and
that's why he got a shot. He got a real shot.
There's women that when I was with Pretty Ricky, when I was with different people, there's women that follow. They have their own money, their own car, they get their own rooms, and they come and they serve everybody.
Look at the movie. Watch the movie, bro. We watch this movie at least once a year in my house, bro. It's called Almost Famous. Almost Famous, bro.
With the guy who went on tour with the rock band.
They went on tour, the journalist, the 15-year-old
and he
journalist.
Was in love with
that
the girl
on
that was the
pretty, whatever her name was, and who was underage. Penny something. Penny whatever. And she was in love with these
the rock star.
older guys, and they was in love with her, but legally you cannot be. And they went from city to city, and they did what they did and whatnot. You know, look at Jerry Lee Lewis, 12-year-old.
Right.
Look at Elvis, Priscilla Presley, 15. You know, look at all these. Look at all the situations now. Look at all the situations, and I'm not condoning. The law is what the law is. I have, you know, a daughter. Like right at that prime age, right now, 14 years old, freshman in high school, and you know somebody that takes an interest in her, they got to see me, and I'm telling them to their face, you know what I'm saying? Like my daughter can't be around you like that because, you know, we're not, like you know what I'm saying? Like we're not even gonna give you the opportunity to even, you know what I mean? Because I done seen it. My whole life. We done had teachers when I was in bruh, are we okay? The thing went out. Yeah, the whole screen went out. We had teachers when I was in high school, bruh, that were you know, involved you know, with students. You know, when I graduated undergrad, when I graduated college, I taught for a year. I substituted at first before I got a permanent gig. And as I'm substituting, bro, I went to Pebblebrook High School, bro. I was at Pebblebrook High School, and I'm 20 years old. I'm 20 years old, bro. And I'm sitting in this one class, and I'm looking at these Georgia peaches. And one of the girls talking about, Mr. Mathis. Like, yes. How old you is? I'm like, 20, why? Oh, you young. Young? What you? Oh, my last boyfriend was 26. I'm sitting there like, man, let me get up out of here. Let me get up out of here. Then I went down to middle school, and I go down to middle school, and I'm like, man, let me go to elementary school and be chilling down here.
Elementary school is different.
In elementary school, okay?
That's better.
In elementary school, they total like get.
Because in middle school, that's still.
And one of the girls in high school at Pebblebrook, like I was still like I just graduated from college, so all my friends was still like in college. I was still living at the same apartment complex that I was living in, and like one of the girls that was at Pebblebrook was like in my complex. So I'm sitting there, I'm like knowing she fast. I'm like, oh man, knowing she fast. I'm like, bruh, you know, and this is before the Michael Jackson and the R. Kelly allegations and all that stuff like that. So when they came along, you know, that's what we would say growing up, like, you know, with your fast ass. You know, that's something that say, look out for them fast
ones,
girls and whatever, whatnot. But the law is like, that ain't. No, they can't even. There's no. You can't even go in there if you have a sexual battery case or you have something like that, bro. You can't even go in there and raise a defense of complicity. You can't even come in there saying that. You will get sanctioned. to come in there and say that you can lead somebody on or something like that or whatever, that's thrown out. You know what I'm saying? And they just changed the ages in certain states, bro. Texas, I think you could get married 12 years old. Bro, look in the books. It's still like certain things what it is where you can still get down at certain ages. And in the South in particular, and in rural places, you can go in and get in. So I'm not gonna just totally villainize Puffy. I'm not gonna condone nothing, because if he had folks that's in there that was like, this was non-consensual, we wasn't with it at no time. But the Cassie situation, like that in and of itself, doesn't totally move me or convince me, because they stayed in it mutually. Now she's coming in there and she's convincing the folks, because bro, as a former prosecutor, when a victim gets mad, when a woman's fed up, to quote R. Kelly,
get scorned.
When a woman's fed up, bruh, she gonna come in there, bruh. And I would say, Jesus at the well, when the lady, came up there and it was like, hey, man, this lady right here, she's a, madam of the night, whatever. And Jesus like leaned down and he was like, he who is without sin cast the first stone. And by the time he looked, everybody done cleared it. So to try to come in there and say that everybody's been perfect, or looking at this man, and his downfall, but when you start talking about Keefe D, you start talking about Keefe D, and you start talking about Tupac. Now, if it turns out that he has something to do with Tupac, that $1 million that Keefe D is throwing out there, we might have, I think sentiment may change and turn right now. Right now, it's the no Diddy, but we'll see what the evidence is.
I mean, it's too much, man, because you got his wife, you got Shazier Stewart. Like I could say in the beginning, Puff was spoiled, and just how Puff went in, like certain people ain't gonna let you get in without going through what they went through. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes.
You always say that. You blame Russell Simmons and you blame
Andre
Harrell for turning them out.
That's where it comes from. Because this was his influences. When he was at Howard, he was at Uptown, I used to go back and forth because I worked for Uptown. So the day that Andre Harrell came into the studio when he got that $45 million publishing advance from Clive, I've never like that day.
You said Andre Harrell was mad.
Oh,
because he got that bread.
Man, I mean, this is when you notice he was gay. This was the first time I noticed that he was gay based off of his characteristics and how he was upset. And I'm like, but it doesn't make sense. This guy, he's made it possible for you to make the money that you're making.
So and to that point, the videos are coming out. There's a photograph of Aaliyah, J-Lo, Andre Harrell, Puffy. They all in the bed.
Yep,
they all in the bed. I saw that today. They all in the bed. And like I said, man, just being, we're contemporaries. You know what I'm saying? Like contemporaries. I've been on the periphery of the situations. He ain't dragging nobody in there, at least from the parts that I seen. Like, it was more like, this the in crowd. Like, these are folks. We going here, they going there. You the leader of the band. You got all the drugs. You got all the girls. You got all, you know what I mean? You got all the liquor. You got all the stuff that's going on. Who don't want to keep the party going?
But is this like, okay, like, when you deal with strippers, like I've dealt with the dark sides of this elements, and so, like, the girls that I had the day when we was at the Super Bowl, like, I had these guys from D.C. They was with for 2 days. They was just giving them money, $10,000 at a time. But now Puppy wanted the girls. And now the girls was like, man, we don't like to be with Pup. Pup always wants to have sex with strange people and do all kind of strange stuff. And he don't even give you the money for it and da-da-da-da. So there's always the girls that get took care of, the favorites. And then there's the girls that just they get coerced in that, and it's like I was trying to.
So it sounds like, again, how we started this with Jeffrey Epstein and Grizel, because that's who she was. She was the groomer. So was it Stevie J, or was it some of the ladies like in the circle? The what was her name? Marianne. What was her name? The dancer lady that he would bring on the shows and stuff like that. But everybody's blaming him now. Like Tanisha said, Tanisha's like everybody blaming him, and my brother Andell, the Legal Lion says, man, by the time the feds, indict you, they ready for trial. They already ready for trial.
Yeah, because everybody's left him because
they ready for trial.
Notice Diddy's by himself. Diddy, there's nobody with Diddy. No, there's nobody that's around Diddy, and Diddy's been by himself for a long time. That's why he's just been with his kids and these certain women, because everybody else left Diddy, because of all the things that he's involved with, and they don't want to get caught up in those situations because.
All right, we're gonna leave it at like that, man. But I see Miss Dill. She came in there and she said, "Is he gonna suffer the same fate as Epstein?" That's what we were. Questioning. I think so, because especially if Jay-Z's involved, if Jay-Z's caught up in it, if Meek Mill's caught up in it, a lot of folks that's been trying to clean up the images, and I think Beyonce's been at some of those parties, late night, folks are, kind of like
they're saying that Jennifer Ben Affleck, he left Jennifer because he saw the video of what she was doing.
That's what his old bodyguard was saying, talking about, like he like to go and get them, you know what I mean? Hercules.
But one thing I can say,
come in there and smash him.
J-Lo used to ride for him. J-Lo was always.
Well, you remember what Jamie Foxx said? Jamie Foxx, because, when he was on Living Color, and he was like, yeah, she J-Lo, but when she was on Living Color, it was hey ho. So, Jamie, that's the comedian rocking with it, man. So, I'm gonna pray for him, man, because he's a,
that's what I
he claims to be a God-fearing and God-loving man, a family man, seems to be a good father. I'm gonna pray for him, and I hope that, it's like the guns, like, come on, bruh. Like, if I was on one of these shows, right, when they're talking about, the scratched out serial numbers, like, this man, are his fingerprints on those weapons? This man has security details everywhere. People in his house that he not even that he's even there. People driving cars and stuff like that. Like, come on, you finding guns in different places or whatever. Who proved that he bought the gun, that he used the gun. He's not a felon.
Yeah.
So that doesn't, that doesn't get it, man. And if he comes in and he, and the other thing with the feds, you got to do that acceptance of responsibility ASAP. So, like, you actually have to do that first quarter, like within the next few weeks. Within the next few weeks, you're going to be having that conversation with that U.S. attorney, trying to negotiate those charges and getting that acceptance of responsibility, which is going to knock down,
cop the plea.
Some of this stuff. I mean, you're going to be working towards copping the plea, because here's the one thing, like, when I had to go to the door on the gun case in the feds, they wasn't trying to hear it. They was just shaking his head like they had nothing but the 20. They was like, so Buddy ain't had no choice. He had to go. He had to go. And when I walked them out the door, they didn't even know how to let him out. That's how, like, the folks that were there, the folks that were working, because the jury came back probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock, I want to say like on a Friday. It was, and a retired judge, because the judge who was actually trying the case had a function to go to like that Friday. And so after reading the jury instructions, the judge was just like, you know, if the jury comes back, you know, we have a retired judge that's gonna come in and take the verdict. So, bruh, they came back not guilty, and they was like, the people that was working did not know how to release this man from. He had no other holes. That was the only thing. They didn't even know how to release the man. Like, the judge had to do
Break
something and have him to come out, because it's like that old Roach commercial. You know, roaches check in, but they don't check out, bro. When you go in there, they ain't not trying to bring you out, man. So let's go ahead and move on, man, to Trump, man. Trump 2. Like President Obama said, the sequel is rarely better than the original picture. And so the second attempted assassination, you know, was a dud. It was a dud. Like, it did not.
Looks more like
it
a
ain't
plant.
stopped nothing,
It
bro.
looks like a plant to me. I don't know.
It ain't stopped nothing, bro. But what it did let me know, well, I'm gonna tell you what it informed me. What it informed me is that words matter. Words matter, bro. Like, to you and I can sit here and listen to drill music all day. I can listen to drill music all day, but I'm not going to spin the block,
Act on it, right?
and go in there and, you know what I'm saying, shoot you up and shoot your people up and shoot your funeral up and then shoot the people, you know, all that stuff. I'm not going to do it. But you know what? Some people will.
Yep. So that's the thing, like you're saying, like what not Trump, but what the Democrats are portraying this guy at, now people are taking shots at him, because that's what they're trying to say, that the things that they're saying about Trump.
They thought they was going to be the ones to punk the Democrats.
Right.
They thought they was going to punk the Democrats with the strongman talk, right? Right? But instead of punking the Democrats with the strongman talk, the Democrats, they sitting there like, you know what I mean? We pack it too. We pack it too. We bought it too. We bought it too. You heard in the debate, you know, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris, they said we both gun owners. What you saying? What you talking about? And Trump, you was a felon. So, you feel me? Why aren't we having that discussion right now? Because in the state of Florida, felons cannot possess firearms.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I mean, Ply says it best. Now that this guy's a felon, they're rewriting what a felon is.
The man done already, DeSantis has already said the man is voting. The man is talking about he's voting no on Amendment 4, right? After coming out saying like what everybody else said. Man, 6 weeks? What y'all on down there in Florida, bruh? Because, you know, come on. You know, Trump at 78 years old, he is not putting on a condom.
No.
You know that. Because, bruh, if you at 70 years old putting on a condom, a martini is probably you weighing the two. Like, I have this bottle of you know what I'm saying, Louis, even though he doesn't drink, or should I, you know what I'm saying, put this, like, no, he is not putting on a condom.
No.
He is not putting on
Trump.
a condom. So you tell me that they done whisk somebody into Mar-a-Lago, you know, and he done came back there and grabbed him by the, you know, they let you do it when you're famous, right? And he done went in there and had his, you know, had his fill, you know, had his, you know, got it on, and old girl left, and you know, when he talking to his guy, because you know he got a guy, and he's like, hey, you gave her that plan B, right? you gave her that plan B, right? And he was like, yeah, but and you made her take it too, right? And then the guy's just sitting there like, right? Well,
You're
like,
I was trying.
Oh man, 6 weeks is not a lot of time.
Mm-mm.
It's not a lot of time. Women will tell you that
They'll probably find out on the 5th week.
they ate something different.
Mm-hmm.
They changed their diet. Something that happened, and so they just like figuring it out. 6 weeks is not the move. 6 weeks is not the move.
I just think it's crazy for the government to try to tell women how could they allow, like, that's a violation of human rights to me. Like, why isn't that coming up to the fact that the government is mandating when women can do anything with their body? How is that not a violation of human rights?
I don't disagree.
Right.
I don't disagree, but what I can tell you is that with the repeal of Roe v. Wade, the decisions go back to the states, and so each state has the right, to come and say, what it is. And you have some that, like Iowa, Idaho, Texas, which is like almost a complete Alabama, like almost a complete ban. And then Texas, where within the state they're trying to make it illegal to leave the state in order to travel for purposes of it. And I think that's when you're going to get into the issues, because one of the issues, as far as you have what's called comity, COMITY, and comity is if you're married in the state of Florida and you go to California, California has to respect your marriage. If you move to California, they can be like, hey, we don't go for that gay marriage over here. That's why we end up with gay marriage. As soon as one state allow for it, that's the whole debate going from the Articles of Confederation to the Constitution, is that each state was acting like their own country, and it was like, no, you need to be able to have free passage and go from state to state and be recognized and whatnot. So it's an issue, man. It's really an issue, and the hypocrisy is just so evident, because you willing to kill everything, you want to arm everybody, but you don't want to take care of people. Like, you would rather see people die on the street of starvation. You don't want them to get any benefits, health care, food, shelter, step right over them, but you're going to bring somebody into the world, but you're not taking care of them when they get here. And that's
because after that point they
crazy.
Become a ward of the state. Either you're going to go to prison, or they making money off of you regardless once you get here. So that's the whole point. They need you to get here so they can continue to get their money, because that's the one thing that, like, it always just kills me. Like, even when you're born and you become state property, the state becomes the state based off of the birth certificates, the estate, the amount of the certificates that they have. This is what gives them the element to be a state. And now you're not a person no more. You know what I'm saying? And this is how they're able to pass all these laws on us. You know what I mean? And it's like, we have to kind of wake up. Like, to me, when I look at America, America is a military complex that controls people based off of false settings. Like, everything about what is in the Constitution doesn't apply to everybody. And
it never has
at all.
and that part never has, man. And so the military industrial complex, definitely, like, nobody's out there arguing to reduce military spending. Everybody crying over all this other spending that it's like, Social Security or disability or aid to foreign countries. Like, that used to be a big thing. Like, why are we giving $1 billion to them, $1 billion to there? And, like, I think our military budget is like a third to a half of the whole budget. And we spend more on the military than the next, like, 20 countries combined. Combined, bruh. And, you know, we need to spend like Israel. You know what I mean? They getting bread from us. And, bruh, did you see how they took out all them folks, the beepers, man?
Oh, man.
With the beepers and Hezbollah?
That's crazy.
Bruh,
I was like, man, that's serious right there.
The beepers went off. They sent a text. They sent a text to the beeper. Boom. People dying everywhere. People dying everywhere, man. I'm like, whoa.
That was serious right there.
And I first learned of that technology when President Obama was in office. When, you know, all the talk about Iran becoming a nuclear power and, you know, saying that we weren't going to do that. They had infiltrated the Iran nuclear program and just started having these random accidents. Like, that's how the CIA was handling it. That they were just having these random accidents for, like, the physicists and the nuclear scientists over there, and to the point that Iran started, you know, disciplining and for some actually executing some of their scientists because they wasn't sure what was going on, because their nuclear systems were not linked to the internet. Like, you had to actually get in and touch. So there was an operation where they actually came in and was able to plant malware. But they had to physically get in, like through the cleaning company or whoever, and plant the malware. And so we had malware that was causing the centrifuges to melt, like to heat up and to melt. And they wasn't figuring out what was going on. And one of the reasons that Obama was upset with Netanyahu to this day is that Netanyahu was really pushing, you know, because remember, they did not want us to enter into the nuclear deal with Iran.
With Iran, right.
And Netanyahu was like coming and was like interfering in U.S. domestic politics, you know, coming in, you know, going straight to the Congress, to go in there and talk to the Congress, disrespecting the president who's supposed to invite you in. And they like, nah, come on. So the ops is bringing in the prime minister. So he coming in, and what ended up happening is that Israel lobbied to increase the malware that was going on. And through that increased activity, the Iranians discovered that, you know what I'm saying, because like the way it was happening, it was like real slick and slow, and they ain't know what was going on. But Israel like coerced, you know, the U.S. to increase, and by increasing it, they figured it out. Like, nah, this ain't right, this ain't natural. And then that's when they, you know, rang the alarm and was like, hey, we've been hacked. So, and that's going back, what, 2008? Obama was the president. So you talking 14, 15, 16 years. So you know their technology has only advanced. It's only advanced going on. They buy the, you know, best weapons from us. Plus, you know, they very smart, intelligent, a wealthy nation, and they bringing it all in. And defense is like, you know, priority, bro, because they are in the midst of like a lot of people that hate them. So you got to be ready at all times. So they just came out there, man. So this thing with Hezbollah, you know, that has no, I don't know how that's going to end,
so
bro.
Now they said
they done pissed everybody off over there.
Now they're moving up to hire for another, to create for that war now, they're saying.
No, that's what I'm saying, which is all it's going to do is just bring Iran in. Like, that's all what's going to happen. Iran is already supplying interballistic missiles to Russia that Russia is using against Ukraine. And now Ukraine is asking for permission from the U.S. to be able to use our long-range missiles against Russia. And within the last month, Ukraine has been, attacking inside of Russia. So Putin has already said that, hey, what y'all doing right now, basically he telling all the folks, Poland,
NATO,
Norway, tell all them guys that's over here, talking about, boy, it's going to take them a minute to get here. It's going to take them a minute to get here. Just know that before they get here, it ain't going to be nothing for them to save. Because but at the same time, them boys from Ukraine can fight.
They working.
Them boys from Ukraine can fight. So Ukraine wants nothing more than to pull the U.S. in. And that's what they're doing, is they showing like, look what we're doing with what we got. We fending them off, but bruh, nuclear weapons is a whole game changer. That's a whole game changer. You can't, you know what I'm saying?
You can't come back from that.
But it's not 1980. I'm not a 10-year-old boy anymore, not hiding under the desk in school thinking, World War III is about to go. It's been 30, almost 40 years to plan and prep. Folks are gaming for surviving a nuclear war.
Yep.
What that looks like, I don't know, but I know our folks that's running the pop bottles and that's running, that's watching Sexy Red back it up. I know they ain't thinking about it so much.
At all.
They ain't thinking about it so much. And I think that might be on purpose. You should read this book by Derek Bell called Faces at the Bottom of the Well. Kind of goes along with Gil Scott-Heron, Whitey's on the Moon. While we talking about rats biting my sister Nell, Whitey's on the moon. We got somebody that was supposed to go in space for 8 days that's going to be up there for 8 months.
Till February.
Right now. And they voting. And they voting.
Oh, yeah. He got everything.
And they voting.
He can do what he want.
And they voting, bruh. And they voting.
He can do what he want.
Yeah. So, you got folks, man, with these militias and all this stuff, man. They training on the weekends and they doing that. All that other stuff, bruh.
They ready.
They getting ready. They getting ready. And those are the folks that's backing old boy. It's definitely a code of personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a code of personality. There's been over 100 former conservatives in national security that just came out and was like, man, we, this is not, I'm a registered Republican, bruh. This is not that. This is not that, bruh. This is not that. This is straight up, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. And that's not fair. And they ain't about fairness. They just coming in there now just like, you know what, man, y'all all should be happy that we let y'all live. Y'all all should be happy that y'all ain't out plowing right now. Y'all all should be happy that y'all ain't picking cotton right now. Y'all all should be happy because my sons and daughters are sitting there, working, it's a good thing, we got 400 years of trust money built up to be able to catch, Johnny, who just didn't get it right. But he would have got it right if you wouldn't have taken your butt to law school. He would have got it right. You wouldn't have taken your butt to medical school. He would have he would have been a doctor. You know what I'm saying? If you wouldn't have, learn how to make music, all that stuff, bruh. It's like, are you crazy? Are you kidding me right now? Are you really kidding me right now? I go in there and talk to kids to this day, as young as in elementary school, and the first thing I tell them are the steps to become a lawyer. And you know why I do that, bruh? Because I didn't know. I didn't know. Right. I didn't know, bruh. I made good grades from the time I was in kindergarten all the way through college. I didn't know any lawyers. There was nobody to come talk to me about go do this, go do that, or whatever. I talked to a lot of folks about when they took the SAT. We ain't even talking about the LSAT or the bar exam, but just the SAT. Folks is like, man, I was drunk because the SATs was usually Saturday mornings, like 8, 9 o'clock, Friday night, football game, basketball game, whatever.
Night.
You out doing whatever. And it's like, man, I had to get up, man, I had to take this test. And I'm looking at some of my homies in my class who they've been going to prep courses leading up to the SAT. You looking at them like, man, what you doing that for? Like
preparation.
Preparation. What you talking about? You know, so you know, you got folks, man, where you think it's not about right. It's not about fairness, man. It's about folks who feel aggrieved. Folks, they just straight up feel aggrieved. If folks can't come out there, man, and be like, bro, it ain't a million black lawyers running around. It ain't a million black doctors running around. We don't have enough black lawyers for our own people. We don't have enough black doctors for our own people. We don't have enough black anything for all our stuff, right?
Rappers.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we can come in there and be like, man, you know, I guess we took over the NBA. We took over the NBA. We took over NFL. Football, and you did what it is, man. But the type of vitriol that comes from seeing a few, like, bro, how can this lady Sarah Huckabee Sanders, man? I'm looking at her the other day, talking about Kamala Harris don't have any children, so you know, children humble you. So she don't have any humility. Like, what you want her to be around here, like, step and fetch it? Like, y'all, if y'all would excuse me, y'all give me the lady coming out there, you know, with pride and saying, like, what it is. But has she ever said, like, I am he, I am she, I am the only one who could do this, but the dude she's supporting is, like, remember, Sarah was the best spokesman Trump had. The best one that he had. Why didn't she stay there? She didn't stay there because she was not attractive. She was not attractive. And Trump liked pretty women. He liked pretty women. And when he's sitting back, wherever he's sitting and he watching TV, he want to see somebody pretty. Before he got into politics, when he go to his properties, they knew, hey, boss coming. Ugly people get to the back. Ugly people be quiet. Ugly people get to the back.
That's right.
Get to the back, right? So Sarah Huckabee, she got an eye that was drooping. She was overweight. She's coming in, but was witty, intelligent, smart, informed, prepared. Got rid of her. Why? You know what I mean? Because I just don't really.
Cosmetics.
I just really tell you, since we're being honest here, you just not like he said in the depot. To my she's not the chosen one. She's not the chosen one. She's not the chosen one.